What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's that time. It's Inside the IFL, the 40th episode, and I'm joined by my main man, Mr. Big Dog.
What it is.
How you doing on this glorious birthday of yours?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Made it another year, so hey.
Just had to throw the music out there for the world to hear. Gonna hit with the chat room real quick. If you can hear us, great. If you can't, shit. Got Mighty in there. We got Chisholm in there. Alex is in there. Welcome in, gentlemen. So much to talk about, if you will, much to discuss. Things going on in this league as we, as always, force others to reach higher standards. We are, there's no platinum tier in All Pro, but we are the platinum league. No question about that. So that being stated, where would you like to start? Because I know you got much on your mind of yourself today.
Oh, start wherever you want.
Well, let's get to what really matters.
Before we get there, though, I'd like to thank everybody for all the birthday wishes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Big 6-0. Oops.
I'm not 60, damn it. Quit telling people I'm 60.
Oh, hell. 44. Geez, now I actually feel glad that I'm only 40. All right. Yes. I'm going to rub it in. I do this to you every year. You should be used to it.
Yes, I know.
But yes, as we were saying. Yeah, Mighty says you look good for 60. Oh, hell.
I love it.
Yes. But the big thing going on is we have draft day. It's this Friday.
Oh, yeah.
First 3 rounds. Then guys get to take Saturday to re-study the board, make their plans, make their changes to their big boards, whatever it is they may do, maybe potential trades or whatever, until we get back at it on Sunday. As of right now, the draft will take place 6 o'clock Friday. I haven't made that announcement yet, so I'm making that announcement here. I actually work this Friday. Usually I don't work on Fridays. They asked me to switch Thursday for Friday. I was okay with it, considering the draft won't get in the way of me actually getting to work, because I just don't see the draft lasting 4 hours when I would catch the bus at 10. So we should be good to go. Sunday, I'm off, so it's not going to be an issue. I'm not sure of the exact time for Sunday just yet. I'm going to look with the wife, see exactly what her work schedule is. But I can tell you Sunday's either probably going to be 6 or 7. I think that's about right. So,
Thanks for me.
That being said, first 3 rounds, and Philadelphia Flight have been on the clock, since they made the trade for that first pick. And we have no idea where they may or may not go. We have no idea where anybody's going to go, really, at this point. I mean, even Arizona, who has just 2 roster spots left, your guess is as good as mine how they fill those slots. The 2 players that they lost are a free safety and a third wide receiver, and that free safety being the second free safety. So do they go back to that plan? I have no clue. Nonetheless, draft, and I do want to let you guys know, this is an announcement I'm going to be making. Got to pick the date on this yet. The schedule is finished. We have the schedule made. It's set up. It's ready to go. We're going to have a schedule like release show where we're going to talk about who plays who week 1 and let the talks begin. But we're going to do that after the draft is over, so you know who's on which teams. So when Ed and I get on the air and we actually talk about the schedule, we can start breaking down who's going up against who, what the builds look like, and the whole 9 yards. So I just had to throw that out there before I forget. But back to the draft. When you make your player selection, you need to let me know the player you're picking and the tier you're putting him at. So I need his name, his position, and the tier where he's going. The abilities, I don't need right away unless you want to send them. But what I will need is the abilities for said players that you select in round 1, 2, and 3 on the first day. I will need that information before we have the draft on Sunday. This way I can get your roster up to date, have it set up, and update the website. If you haven't checked, check the website. All the teams are now on the website. This way you know what your cap space is. I know what your cap space is. And the other teams in the league might have an idea of where you may or may not be going in the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds, to where maybe they want to make a move and get ahead of you in the board. So again, I just need his tier, and I need his position and name. And then, like I said, I'll take care of the salary cap part of it on my end and then get it all added up. Obviously, nobody knows, but I'll just need those abilities. So again, if you want to send the abilities as you pick and say, well, he's going to have 3 abilities, that's great. Now I know he's got at least 3 abilities. I can set up the salary cap, but I'll still need to know the actual ones in place before the draft on Sunday. And then after Sunday's draft, the second day of the draft, rounds 4, 5, and 6, I'll need that information before the end of the day, Tuesday. So you get 48 hours basically for each one. Sound good enough?
Sounds good to me.
So I want to make sure I said that right, because we had that conversation here this morning and how exactly to do that, how exactly to get that set up. So we knew what we were doing. And I'm going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to plug the show again on Facebook, because I forgot to do that. So you guys know that we're live. So some guys just don't live on Slack. Some guys pop in on Slack and they'll send me a message and say, oh, blah, blah, and then they disappear. It is what it is. Use Twitter. Put that out there. Okay, I have an alert. Someone wants to actually join the IFL Facebook page. Didn't know it is there because I never got an alert up at the top. Cameron L. Matthews. Do not know who that is. But they've been approved. Why not? So your thoughts on this draft?
Going to be very, very interesting. Because there are several teams we have no idea where they're going. And is there going to be a team that says, hey, watch this, and goes completely nuts and tries something? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm most curious about. Who goes where? What do they do? How do they build their team? Because some of these teams, I'm pretty certain how they're building them because you can see it. Then there's other team, it's like, huh? What are you going to do?
Exactly.
Like Chisholm's in the chat. He's the one of the teams that is like, you look at it, you're like, wow, no clue. Where's he going to go? Because I think he has like 5 or 6 guys on the roster. So his door of where he may go is any option. He can pick a door and go through it, and it would make sense.
Yeah, he is a Denver fan, so that might explain it.
Since he is in the chat, I'm going to make his day, and he's going to rub this in my face. He might get off his Raiders kick with this one. So, Mark, if you're listening, my daughter, Nieva, who just loved Queen City. That was her team. They were green and black, and that's her favorite color. So she was a big Queen City fan. I finally had her come over to the computer today, and I showed her all the logos for the current teams. I said, which one do you like? Now, instincts tells me she's picking Arizona. Same color scheme, so to speak. Nope. She takes the Denver Yeti.
Ugh.
That's the one she picked.
Kick her out of the house.
And I looked at her and said, so that's going to be your team here in the IFL? She goes, yep, I like it. I said, okay.
Kick her out. Kick her out.
I didn't get to ask my younger daughter yet. I plan on doing that when she comes home from school, just see who she picks. So my daughter likes Denver Yeti. Apparently that's who she's going to be rooting for now, which would be nice because she really didn't sit on the couch and have her laptop out and want to watch a team last season. She'd pay attention here and there. Now that she's actually looked at these teams, evaluated which one she likes, it'll be cool to see her plop up on the couch 2 feet from me while I got the games going, watching it on her little laptop, cheering for Denver.
Very cool.
I don't matter. I didn't care who she picked. Get her some chocolates. Didn't bother me who she picked. I'm just glad that she likes to get involved and she enjoys something Dad does. It gives us some time to bond on something. And it's just, can't go wrong with bonding over football with your children.
It's true. Very true.
Gotta love it. And I want to mention this since I said your children. I was just telling Ed this before we went on the air. All you gentlemen who have daughters, by all means, please,
Oh Lord.
please teach your daughters the 7Bs. Please teach them the 7Bs. Let them understand what the 7Bs are. And that is real simple. Follow me. So, again, teach your daughter the 7Bs, and that would be books before boys, because boys bring babies. Just putting that out there.
Words to live by. Life lessons here in the IFL.
Yes. Think about it. I know a couple of our guys have daughters here. So they're hearing that saying, I like it. I'm going to take that and I'm going to sit her down today after dinner and be like, baby girl, listen. You got to be with the books. You don't want to be with the boys. Boys bring them babies. You know. So think about it. You're a father. If your daughter doesn't hit the book and she hits the boy and the boy gives her a baby, what are you hitting?
I'm going to hit the boy for sure.
So what the hell? But yeah, no.
See, I don't have to worry about that particular thing right now.
No?
Because the entire, I guess you could say, male populace that goes to where my kids went to school and go to school are completely terrified of me. They won't talk to my daughters. They won't look at my daughters unless they know they have permission first. So, yeah.
Well, don't want to burst your bubble, but isn't one going to college? No one there knows you.
Well, not yet. She's not there yet. So.
Oh, I thought not yet was they don't know you yet.
Oh, they'll know me when I get there. That whole college will know me.
Right? Oh my God, that's too funny. But now we'll get this little. We'll get this shit back on the road here real quick. I've posted, in case nobody noticed it, the fucking chisel. All right, I posted the draft order, so you guys know, on the website, as well as the rookie board. I have everybody's current team build also on the website. Doing my best to make sure our website's a wealth of information. I'm doing my best to make it look clean and as professional, but as simple as possible. Some websites try to put way too much. You know, on our site, you're going to have a page for the schedule. It ain't going to be on the main page. We're going to have a page where we're going to do our stats. It won't be on the main page, making things look sloppy. None of that stuff's going to be there. You know, the standings might not be on the main page this year. Last year, we did kind of put them on the main page, so it was easy to see and easy to find. This upcoming season, I might change that. I'm still thinking about how I want to do that. But in any case, going to the teams page, as we were just talking about some team builds, you'll go in there and you're going to see the Atlantic Division logo, or Atlantic Conference logo. Then you see the East Division. You got Baltimore's build, Boston's build, New York's build, Philadelphia's build. Then you got the South Division, and it's Atlanta, Dallas, Nashville, Tampa Bay. Then you get into the Pacific Conference. In the Northern Division, Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, Winnipeg. And then in the West Division, you got Arizona, Denver, San Diego, and Tokyo. So when you look over these teams and you realize some teams don't have players. Now, I just said the West Division. I'm looking at San Diego. They have 4 players. They have 4 players. So it's a 6-round draft. That means they're going to have to outbid people for 4 players in free agency. You know, Tokyo's got 6 players. That means they got to draft 6, which means they're going to be 2 short. That's what I'm saying. And as I mentioned, Chisholm's got 5. I think Chisholm and San Diego are the 2 smallest rosters. I'm double check it now. 7-6, 7-6 on those. 5 with Tampa Bay. 5 with Dallas. Wow. Yeah, those are definitely the smallest ones. So Dallas, Tampa Bay, Denver, and San Diego. They're the ones who had the most work to do as far as acquiring either talent some way or picks. So, and I did have this conversation with you earlier today as well, Ed.
Yes.
Do you want to take the risk as an owner? You don't own Boston, so this is going to rest on the laurels of Mr. Bo Davis to make this decision. But I'm asking you, as a member of his staff, how you would approach it. Do you want to go into the draft knowing you need to fill 7 spots, but only have 6 picks, and hope you outbid somebody in free agency for that key piece you want? Or would your team be better suited to make a trade somewhere and maybe slide down and around to acquire another pick late to grab the precise player you need without nobody getting in your way?
Even on my birthday, I still don't get respect. I am co-owner of that team.
Yes, I get it.
50%. It's
50%
now. Yes. I'm now 50% owner of that team. That's what I was told. That's how it works.
How does it work? How does it work if you want to go one way and he wants to go another way? Who gets the final say? 50-50.
I guess we're going to have to figure out a way to do it.
But give me your opinion. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I'm fine just using our 6th pick and getting the last guy in free agency. I'm okay with that.
Welcome in, Matt.
I really don't see. I don't see the need to try to move here, move there, just to get that extra pick, just so you get them all. Nah,
right.
So, I mean, other guys might think that way. I don't think that way.
Okay, well, here's what I ask you. Just pick a random position for me. Any position. Go ahead. Just throw a position at me. That'll make a difference which.
Tight end.
All right. It's the last round. We're in the 6th and final round. And you guys are all going to be coming up on the board soon. Or actually, no, we'll put it a little later. It's going to be a little earlier in the draft, obviously. But the point is, when it comes to that pick, you need a tight end, and say you also need a defensive tackle, because that's going to be your build. You have your last pick. It's defensive tackle, and it's tight end. You look at the big board of all the players still available. One player fits the need on each position that you want. Only one guy. None of the other guys are going to work to what your game plan is. Do you still sit on your laurels and say, screw it? And then just take another guy who's not quite what you wanted him cracked out to be because somebody might beat you to the punch and get him in free agency?
You know me. I don't sweat that shit.
I just find that, to me, it's a curious thought, and it's something that I'm really excited to see how some teams address this. Not that I'll know that that's what they're doing, but I'm going to assume if some trades start going down during the draft, this could be what's going on. Me, I've been an owner doing sim leagues before as well, and I also know if I'm putting out a game plan, for that game plan to be the most effective, I need the pieces of the puzzle to complete it, and that includes player, ability, and playbook. If my playbook is this and said player can't accomplish what's in the playbook, I might as well throw it away. So for me, I want that player that fits my build precisely rather than an alternative. So for me, I'd be moving my ass to get that guy.
Like I said, I don't sweat it. I'll make shit work.
Got a couple owners in the room here. I'm curious as to how they feel about it. So if you guys have been paying attention, I'm just curious, what do you think about what we just discussed? Would you trade up? Would you stay put? How would you address this situation? Let's see what these guys have to say.
Well, don't all talk at once.
I guess they can say the same thing to us. Don't talk at once.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. While we're waiting for some thoughts, if we get any, we did mention the draft, how I want to do it. Mentioned a few other things. The schedule's going to be released. Chisholm says stay put unless there's an offer that's so crazy to move.
There you go. That's another good one. That's another good way to look at it too. If it's an offer you can't refuse, then you got to say,
My thing is, wouldn't you be the one offering the crazy deal because you got to go get up there and get somebody?
Well, you could, or you could have somebody. You never know. Maybe somebody thinks the opposite direction. Say, hey, this guy's going to drop.
Right.
And I can get him here, and maybe I can move something else. Guys, everybody thinks differently.
Right. Now, my thing is, we have X amount of teams that need quarterbacks. Who's going to be the last guy to jump on their quarterback, as an example? I know a bunch of teams need running backs. Who's going to be the last guy to jump on the running back? Because quite frankly, if I'm any of these owners and I realize I'm the last one, I make that my last pick. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, if you realize you need a quarterback and you're going to be the last guy selecting your quarterback, why take him early? Just pick him in the 6th round and say to hell with it, because ain't nobody going to take 2 quarterbacks. And I mean, somebody might be crazy and do that. I don't see why, but if somebody did, then oh shit. Like a running back, that's a little more plausible, somebody to take 2, but I still don't see that happening either. But that's how I look at it. I'm looking over these cap spaces on some of these teams, and there's one I'm going to bring up. I got to bring up this cap space. I want to get some thoughts on this from the guys in the chat, just to see their thoughts on this. And if you're near a computer, guys, go to the website, go to the team owner page and look at the Green Bay Grizzlies, which is owned by Thomas W. Goodhart, who was a tight end, a gold tight end last season with Tampa Bay Stallions. Now with his own team, he's taken his tight end and put himself at bronze. He's got a wide receiver and a free safety at silver. And he's got a gold corner, a gold defensive tackle, a gold outside linebacker. No copper players. Now, the reason why I want to bring this guy up is he's only got 6 players on the team, which means he's going to get 6 picks and be short 2 players in free agency. But that being said, he has already spent $96 million of his cap space. He's got $44 million in cap space left for 8 players. How does he get that to work? Ed went silent on me. I think he got a text message.
Yes. You're aware of what's going on with Dwayne's medicine, so we're dealing with it now. It's pissing me off.
That's understandable. But did you hear my question?
No, I didn't.
I said, Green Bay Grizzlies. He's got to pick 8 players in the draft. He's only going to get 6 unless he makes trades, so he's going to need to get 2 guys in free agency. But either way, he's got 8 players left to sign and only $44 million in cap space left.
Ooh, holy crap.
He's got to sign 2 silvers, 3 bronze, and 3 coppers. How's he going to make that fit?
Yeah, that's a damn good question. I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know.
Heath McDaniel's in. Chris Davis is in. Gentlemen, because Davis did ask what he missed. The only thing you guys have missed so far is we mentioned for the draft, we basically want you guys to submit your player, his position, and what tier he's going to. And then we need his abilities, the actual abilities you're selecting from his build before the second day of the draft. And then when you do the draft on the second day, which is on Sunday, we need all that information before the end of the day on Tuesday. So the same thing on the second day, player's name, position, how many, and the tier, and then how many abilities you're going to give him. I mean, we need all that. This way we can get the boards together. Because as of Tuesday, once everything comes in, my next day off, USB chips get plugged in, rosters start getting built. So that's when owners will need to reach out to their teams that have human players and pick and choose, their equipment, numbers, all that good stuff. You guys know the drill. The ones who don't, I'm sure I'll have to teach it, but I think everybody understands it. Even the new owners know the drill when it comes to that stuff. And all the non-star players, I'm going to beg the owners right now, when it comes to the non-star players, Let's not get too crazy with them. Save me the hassle. Save me the time.
Oh, shit.
What's the issue, Ed?
Oh, my wife just sent me a text message. All right, I'll catch everybody up to speed real quick because I'm going to be dealing with this while I'm probably on here, so everybody knows. So if I start cussing or start carrying on, I apologize because I'm going to get pissed.
That's typical Ed. We love that, Ed.
All right. As you guys know, I have twin sons, Drew and Dwayne. Dwayne has cerebral palsy. He takes a medicine called Kevposa, and it's because he drools really bad because of what he has. Mm-hmm. My wife had called the drugstore to send in his refill because on his bottle it says he has 5 more refills until a certain date, and then he has to get it, a new prescription for it, and then it starts up. Okay, so she went yesterday to try to get the medicine. The insurance has kicked it back for some reason, and they're saying they need a new authorization, they need this, they need that, so the drugstore wouldn't refill the prescription. He has a bottle here that has maybe 150 milliliters left in it. He takes 13 milliliters 3 times a day. He has maybe 3 days left, if that. And my wife she hopes he has that much left because it's getting a little ugly. All of this because of state regulations that changed as of the 1st of October. I don't know what I'm going to do. My wife is freaking out. We do not know what we're going to do if our insurance does not cover this because we cannot afford $500 for this medicine. I don't have that kind of money. I don't. And my son needs this. It's, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. But like I told you yesterday, I'm glad it's not his other medicine he takes, which he takes a pill, which is called baclofen, which that he takes because it helps his muscles relax because his body is so stiff and so tight because of the cerebral palsy. If anything goes with that, we're going to be in deep shit. I mean, it's already bad enough we're dealing with this medicine, but anything goes with that, I'm going to go to jail because people aren't going to like me because this is bullshit. These children and even there's adults out there too that have special needs. They need these medications to survive and to be able to function on a daily basis. And the government is constantly trying to change things so they can't get this, they can't do. And honestly, I'm getting tired of it. And I'm sorry. I'm really ready I just want to sit here. I'm ready to start crying. I'm just ready to freaking lose it. I'm so sick of them changing everything all the time.
What? Welcome to the United States.
And like I said, and if they can't get it figured out, I don't know what we're going to do. Because I can't afford. Because the lady at the drugstore told my wife, well, you could pay for it right now if you want. And that's what she said. Well, how much? She said, well, it's going to be $500. I'm like, huh? Where am I getting $500 for medicine?
And that's for how much supply?
That's for, they usually give him like a month's supply.
$500 a month. So even if you figured out for this month, what the hell happens next month?
Exactly.
And the month after that, and so on. That's just insane. That's crazy.
Okay. Now that I've calmed down a little bit, let's get back to other stuff here. So I don't. Sorry to bring my problems, but good God. This is ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Well, too bad not all of us are rich.
There you go. Chisholm said he's dealing with the same thing. Daughter mentioned, and insurance won't cover the full script, so I pay out of pocket for the. It's freaking nuts, isn't it?
Gotta love it.
It's like I said, it's the government. The government.
It's a great country.
I have read all kinds of stuff online that's got me so upset that they are trying to take away this and take away that for people that has, special needs and other things. It's like, you can't do that. You just can't, because these people can't. They won't be able to function right, and it's not fair to them.
Right.
And the government just doesn't get it. They don't care. They just, we're the government. We can do what we want.
Right. Damn well if their kids need it, they're getting it.
Oh, you're damn right they are.
Yeah.
And that's like, my wife had posted something on Facebook, and some friends of ours, I've known some of these people since I was little because I went to school with their kids and their grandkids and stuff. And one lady posted, her husband is taking medication. His is, if they had to pay for it, luckily so far their insurance is paying for it. But if they had to pay it, his medication is $889 a month.
That's insane.
So that's even worse than what. Really?
Yeah. You guys know, just recently I had my toothache. This shows you how fucking outrageous prices are. I had that toothache issue. I went to get it evaluated, and the doctor told me, because we can give you a shot which will numb it for a few days until we figure out what we're going to do. And I said, all right. I said, it's just one simple shot. He said, sure. I said, all right, whatever, help me out, because the pain was just so bad. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do nothing. I got the bill. Just the shot was $1,200.
Mm-hmm. It's freaking ridiculous, isn't it?
Like, are you kidding me? $1,200 just for a shot. Wow, I guess is all I could say. So that's just $1,200 at one clip. You're talking $500, $600, $700, $800 on a monthly basis, which is insane. You almost have to have 3 jobs just to cover the freaking bills. The pills. I said bills, but the pills. It's nuts. Well, maybe one day I can get this league to get us $1 million sponsors and shit, and we can start paying bills for the boy.
Oh, that would be nice.
That'd be something.
And different people. Because I've freaked out about other stuff and other people that I know. Oh, don't you guys get this, and don't you get that? You get stuff for free. I don't get stuff for free, guys. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
We have an insurance that we pay stuff toward, and we do that. Yeah, but I don't get anything for free. I don't have anything handed to me. I don't see how people automatically, you just get stuff. No, it doesn't. No.
And I'll tell you now, if I even start making money on this league, like I'm talking a good substantial sum of money, I wouldn't be the only one taking the money, because I got me, I got you, I got Kyle, I got Mr. Davis, and I got every single owner, and I got every single player to thank for doing that. I'd split the money between us all, because that's what you should do, Then, I'm sure some people would kick their money back towards you. But nonetheless.
All right, and let's go back. All right, let's get back to what is Davis talking about? GT Williams' tier gold.
I think he's already letting us know who he wants to pick with their first pick. I think that's what he's doing. He's throwing it out there. Now, here's the question. Is this a curveball? Is this a smoke screen? Is he going to try and get somebody to say, shit, I want GT. Let me trade up and get him. What's Mr. Davis up to? Now, he can sit here and say whatever in the chat, and it just takes me right back to that thought. This is a smoke screen. This could be a very wise ploy by the man. I like it. He said no. Is that no? A smoke screen?
There you go. Then we already know what the first pick of the draft is, because he's got it. He's already announced it. So now who's next? Who's on the clock?
Tokyo Kitsune.
Well, there you go. Tokyo, get ready for your pick now. There you go. He said no. He will be gone with the first pick. There it is. It's already been announced. It's already done. Taken care of.
Now, let's just assume that this is not a smokescreen, because I'm not going to believe it till the day of the draft, because when he actually submits it, when I say, you are officially on the clock, and that 90 seconds starts clicking, and he sends me that message and says, here it is. But assume that's the pick. We don't know how many abilities are going to be on him, because no one knows. But when you look at his current build, he's got a gold strong safety, a silver corner. Now he's telling us he's going to take another corner and make him gold. His secondary is going to be loaded. And Sean Taylor, who came from New York last season at free safety at bronze, and he played his ass off with New York. So he's got a hellish secondary. Wow. If that's the case. And that's another thing we're going to have fun with when these picks come in. We start learning the builds. We're going to start discussing who's got the best secondary, the best linebacking corps, maybe even defensive line, depending on how many teams take linemen. Who's going to benefit the most from their kicking game? Because I know a couple teams will have kickers. It happens all the time. So, yeah, like Ed said, if he goes silent, he's dealing with this stuff. So just bear with him.
I'm all right.
Now, I hate to do it to you. I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to. Because you're fired up.
Go ahead.
Because you're fired up right now.
Go ahead.
Do you feel that this league that we have is second to none, and we force others to raise their bar?
Oh, it's been proven. It's been proven more than once. More than once it's been proven. There's no question.
I just had to ask.
No question about it. Because, you know what? I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care. You know, since you got me on the day when I'm pissed off.
Here we go. Hide the women and children.
There's no secret. All you have to do is look, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not going to go into all the specifics, but go look. You guys can figure it out. You know, check the YouTube, check their website, check all this other shit. And the fact is this: that man is desperate. That man is doing everything he can do to keep his place afloat because he realized what we already knew. If we tried and we dedicated ourselves to this, which we have, this would fucking end. Plain and simple. And it's already starting to fall apart. You know, you had to go out and get a former NFL superstar who says shit for nothing about nothing. He doesn't advertise. He doesn't talk about it. You don't see nothing. But yet he's supposed to be your co-owner and all this other stuff. You know, you always, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going off. I'm going on. I can't help it. And I apologize now for any repercussions that come this way, but I'm done. I'm done. I've had enough. Okay. We have talked forever about how we didn't like how they did the expansion during the championship game because we felt it took away from the championship game. We talked about it in radio shows, on Slack, on other stuff. And what now? They've changed it. They no longer do that. We started this whole thing where the guys picked their abilities they wanted. Over there, you didn't pick your abilities. The owner did it, and you said, okay. Well, guess what? That's changed now. You now get to pick your abilities, and you get to do this and do that. Coincidence? I don't fucking think so.
Oh, God.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm no more Mr. fucking nice guy. I've been nice long enough. I haven't said shit about him. I haven't done anything about. But no, when I get on and I get alerts and I see this and I see that, and it's a blatant ripoff of what we're doing, just because he knows he can't hang with us anymore. Because he's desperate. I mean, good God. TJ quit. Ronnie quit. Who's next?
You know who's next, but we'll keep it to ourselves.
And these guys have been staples of that league. How many guys have quit recently that were not even owners over there, just part of it, and can't take the crap and have come over here now with us? So we're done with doing with the crap. Because I will tell you this right now. My son, who's sitting in there, who's not feeling good today, didn't go to school, who has cerebral palsy and is 10 years old, asked me when we got kicked out of the SFL, he says, how soon before I see the daddy I know and you burn that bitch to the ground? And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him hang himself. And he has hung himself. And I don't give a shit who's in the chat. I don't give a shit who's in this league, who's still over there and think I'm an ass and I don't give a fuck anymore. Because that man is two-faced, and that's all there is to it. His league is bullshit. It's been proven how he rigs shit. It's been other shit have been proven. I'm not being nice no more. I'm done being nice. I got too much other shit in my life that has me fired up, and then I got to see this shit all the time. I'm done. I'm just done dealing with that shit. I just am. You know, because he had people convinced that we told people they had to choose between the two. We never done that. I know that motherfucker did. I can guarantee it. And yes, I did say that. I'm pissed off. I don't care. I have never, ever once told anybody they have to choose between one or the other. Doug has never once told anybody they had to choose. Well, Chris Davis would never tell anybody that. I know Kyle Walsh would never tell anybody that.
I want to touch on that.
But please go ahead and do, because
I do have to touch on that. The whole picking and choosing this, that, and the other. If you look, and I've said this 1,000 times, if you look at our roster of players, of coaches, owners, the whole 9 yards, the only people that are in both leagues are people who own and or coach in his league. He was willing to sacrifice players, but he could not afford to lose his owners nor his coaches when they chose both leagues, and he couldn't give them the choice. But to players, he didn't mind giving them that choice. And I tell anybody, go look at the people. You can see that this is fact, and it's the truth. Now, I'm going to mention an owner, and that'd be the name of Shan Varner. Shan Varner was going to join the IFL. He was going to join the IFL, and I wanted to give him a team. I'll admit it. I was going to give him a team because him and I had come close. Him and I had talked all the time, not just about this type of stuff, life. He was then approached and said, by the way, if you go there, you're not going to be allowed to stay here because he's going to make you pick. And for some reason, he believed it. He bought into it, and he never came over here. He stayed there and ended up getting his team. You know, and to more power to him. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. Well, what pissed me off was when I was told he only stayed because he was told you'd make him choose. My conversation with Shan Varner was real simple. I said to him, I could do what he's doing, and that's make people choose. I said, because all you got to do is look at it. It's plain as the nose on your face to make them choose. And I'm going to say this because I just have to. I was told before the season started, who was going to make the playoffs and who wasn't, who was and or wasn't going to be in championship games and conference games and all that other stuff. Outside of one situation in the championship game, people, everything's come true. And this was before the season started. I was told 2 expansion teams were going to play for the championship game, the trophy. And they were going to be the right-hand man and that right-hand man's former right-hand man. And I don't want to just name names. I'm just going to keep it, whatever. If
Fuck
you go
that.
look.
Fuck that. I'm done.
If you
I
go
can't
look.
know. I'll name names. I'll say who it is. They thought it was going to be Andy Ham.
Uh-huh.
There were several people that reached out to Doug. Doug told me, so here, look at this, what they showed me. I seen it. I saw what the messages he got. And they're 50% right because Shan's in the championship.
Right. And I was also told the 2 teams that they were going to beat to get there were going to be people who are involved with the IFL. To say, hey, look, these guys can't make it when they're here. Or when they're there, whatever. They can't make it here, but they can make it there, meaning that we have the weaker league. If you look at the two teams that were involved, those two owners are now owners in the IFL. Those two teams that played them. One is in the championship game. The one isn't. And then the other teams that I was told were going to make the playoffs, and this is the God's honest truth, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if Mighty's still in the chat, so this is a reference to him, so I hope he's listening. This is not me saying this. This is what was said to me. One, Cam's two right-hand men were going to make the championship playoffs or the league playoffs. This would be a list of either Tallahassee, Houston, and Dallas. Two of the three made it. Queen City is going to make the playoffs, but they're going to get beat early if they lost in the first round. Mighty is going to make the playoffs as the former coordinator to TJ, but TJ's team's not going to even sniff the playoffs. I was told this. God is my witness before the season ever started. These were things I got told. Now, like I said, people can say I'm lying. People can say I'm full of shit. I'm only just saying it now because I can see it. And that's cool. I understand those claims. I understand people making these statements or whatever. But I didn't say nothing about nothing because it ain't my league. I don't really give a shit. I don't really care. But when you go on the internet and tell people you're raising the fucking bar by doing shit we do, you're not raising the bar. You are fucking copying what we're doing. Now the next person be like, well, you copied them by using the same video game. So there's how many Madden leagues?
650,000.
So let's find the 649,999 that came after the first and tell them they have to stop doing what they're doing. The game is irrelevant. How you run things is what counts. We do things differently here. We do it different, period. With the way we do our team, our players age, our players progress. That's another thing that's going to be happening over there. Player progressing. Don't see that here. Not, but we do have it. Now they're doing it. Now they're trying to up the bar a little bit by doing it on a weekly thing rather than a yearly thing. More power to you. My thing is, if you see something we're doing and you're like, you know what, that's a good idea. We should have been doing that. Do it. Make your league better. By all means, do it. Don't sit there and tell me you're raising the bar because you didn't raise the bar. You just did what somebody else was doing because you happen to see that it worked better. I'm going to tell you now, if I look at this league and I see they do something that maybe we should fucking done, I'll probably do it. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we came up with it and we stole it and we're doing the idea. No, this guy showed me this is the way to do it. He was smarter than I was in this aspect. You know, here's your kudos, brother. I need to do that now to make myself better.
It's true.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with people doing that in anything in life. Take Coke versus Pepsi. When one reveals a new type of drink, the next one has the copy. Sierra Mist, Sprite. There's an example. One came first, the other one said, oh shit, that sells. We need to make our own. Bang. There you go. There's nothing wrong with it. It's completely cool. It's completely fair. It's completely honest.
But just the thing is, like you said, you don't see one or the other claim, oh, we did it, and now you know.
It's called respect. It's called respect and just being honest. And I've done nothing but bite my lip on so much, bite my tongue on so much.
Not anymore.
And here's why. Here's why. And I'll be honest right here on this podcast. Out of fear that people who are in both leagues will be like, oh, here he goes again. I just can't take it no more with this guy and this league and leave the IFL. But here's the thing. That's what this guy wants.
No, I'm going to say this. Because, and you know what? I honestly don't give a fuck. If that's the way you feel, get the fuck out now. Get the fuck out now. And go over there and kiss his ass. Because we're not doing it no more. I'm not bowing down to that motherfucker no more. I'm not being nice about that piece of shit. I'm done. I'm done. I've been pissed off ever since they fucked me over there. And no, I'm done. I'm tired of that shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, we got guys in here now in the chat room. I'm sorry for my language. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm pissed off because I'm sure there might be some young kids listening to this playback or whatever. And I apologize to any parents that hear this, but I'm sorry. I'm 44 years old. I'm a grown man. I'm going to say what I want on my radio show. And the thing is this. people, like I said, people are starting to realize what we said is the truth, and they are starting to leave.
Mm-hmm.
My only question was, why did it take this goddamn long?
I don't know. And I'm going to say this, since you touched on that. I won't name his name. I'm not going to do it. I'm asking you not to say his name. But we have an owner in our league who knows, and this is his words, I know the league is faked. I know the league is rigged, but I stay anyway because I like the guys there. I asked one simple question. Why not just tell those guys who were there, look, here's the reality of this place. I'm also over here. Just come join us here so we can play here and enjoy our time together here. You know, my fear with the IFL, when the team that won the championship happened to be a buddy of mine, and my player ended up playing for that team, pissed me off. You could hear it in my voice during the championship game when I was calling it. It bothered me because now I was afraid said things could be said about me and my league. So I made sure that couldn't happen, and I removed myself from every team that I was on. Tokyo lost their safety in David Lee. That was my second player. I wanted my guys out of the league. That's it. Done. Kaputs. I want to remove any chance of this being any types of claims or whatever. Just want it done. Just for fun, I want to take a cheap pop shot of I made a statement of stop being a little boy, grab your nutsack and be a man. Next thing you know, man's got facial hair. Just saying. That has literally nothing to do with anything. I just had to throw it out there just to get an asshole.
Thank you. I needed a good laugh.
I had to say that.
Shit.
But you know, like I said, I've done nothing to disrespect that motherfucker. I've done nothing to disrespect that league. I've done nothing. But if you go back since day one when this league started and listen to all our podcasts, how many times did we praise him in his league? Several.
Yeah, you did.
Several.
I'm not. I'll admit there were several times I've popped off and said shit about it. But you know what? I have every damn right to do it.
Here's the thing.
Because after what was done to me, after what was done to other people, and this guy constantly plays they're the bad guy. Look what they're doing to me card, and everybody just keeps running with it and keeps kissing his ass. I can't take it no more. Well, I just can't.
We don't need a history lesson. We really don't need a history lesson of everything, but I'm going to give us the Cliff Notes version. Okay? We got a guy in our league named Alex Dar. You know as well as I do, and Alex is going to hear this, and Alex, I'm going to apologize to you now, but I know you already know this, and I'm going to say this. There's times where Alex becomes too much to deal with. And Alex, like your son, has health problems. The same thing, if I'm not mistaken, cerebral palsy.
He has cerebral palsy too. Yep.
And you know better than any of us, by having a child that has cerebral palsy, sometimes they say shit they shouldn't say. They respond a certain way, and it's like, relax. Alex,
I'm going to apologize. I'm going to apologize to Alex now.
Okay.
Because I know him and I have had our issues, and I apologize because it took me a while to. Because if you deal with Alex on the computer and you're typing and talking to him, he comes across.
You just want to smack
kind of like
sometimes?
an ass at times. Yeah, you just want to beat his ass. But when you actually talk to him on Skype or on the phone or whatever,
an actual mouth conversation.
You get a different side of Alex, and you understand where he's coming from and how he thinks and what he's doing.
Right.
So I apologize for anything I've ever done as far as from stuff over the computer and this and that, because it's like I said, it's two different things how you have to deal with Alex.
Right. So.
And I have learned by talking and doing that if you do this, he'll respond better.
And it's funny you're mentioning all this because that's where I was going with this. Here's my point. Ed had issues with Alex, had conversations with him by voice to talk and, figure out where each other's coming from. Alex also had problems with that son of a bitch, to where that son of a bitch banned him from his league rather than try to understand where he's coming from. Now, Alex, because of his issues, got upset. Mom got involved. I
remember that.
He basically told Alex's mom to fuck off. Did not care. Didn't give a shit about any of the respect to show. Didn't even care that this kid has mental issues, health issues, to understand where he's coming from, and basically told him to fuck off. That shows the character of a man to begin with. Number two, Everybody knows my issues now with Mr. Alan Drum, but Alan Drum also had his issues with him. But like me, Alan and I, both our issues stemmed from the same guy, being Damon Simeon, who pops off at the mouth, runs his mouth. Now, deep down inside, I believe Damon's a very good guy. I just think he's got an image and an ego about himself, and he doesn't know how to carry himself sometimes. And I've been known to do that myself. So he's got Alan fired up. He got me fired up to where at the end of the day, Alan got banned because of his issues with Damon. I got banned because of my issues with Damon, to where when he was playing his little card against me, I called him out and called him biased because I got tired of biting my lip on it because I could see things as it's playing his nose in my face, and I can't say that line enough. And told him how he cheats and how he has bigger leashes for certain people. Right? Nobody in that league can tell me that's not the truth. You want to sit there and say the games aren't rigged? Fine. But don't sit there and tell me he doesn't give certain people longer leashes, because that's fact. And when you realize that, then you have to sit back and say, shit, is biased.
I'll say this. And you've said it too. I'm not going to throw out names of people, but I know several people that were in both leagues at one time or whatever, and came to me personally, and I went to them talking through messages and stuff, and they said the exact same. We know he is cheating. We know he is rigging shit. We know, and they all knew it. Mm-hmm. So it's no secret. They know you're doing it. But for some reason, they choose to stay there, and then, hey, whatever.
Here's why they choose. Here's my opinion. Here's why they choose. It's one of two things or a combination of the two. Or a couple. I should maybe say it's even more than two. He's got a good core of people who are there. There's a lot of amazing people over there. Some I've missed talking to. Some I still talk to. Like Jason McGee is one of my favorite people that league ever had. He's still there, and him and I talk. Nowhere near enough, but we talk at least every day, every week.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
And we talk. But when we talk, we don't even talk about that league at all. We talk. But whatever he believes. I don't know. Never had that conversation really with him. But I for sure have expressed my thoughts about it to him, and he's just kept his to himself. Cam's dad had a birthday recently. I wished his dad a happy birthday, and he said, "Thanks a lot, buddy." Don't believe me? Go check Facebook. You can find the tweet somewhere in there. Just got to remember when his exact birthday was. You can find it. If I'm such that negative person, I don't think this guy would say thanks, buddy, to the guy who's so evil to his son. Just saying. I can go on and on about this. But to get back to what I was saying, about the Alex thing and the me thing. Every year, live play-by-play and blah, blah, blah with me and Damon Simeon on the call. Damon Simeon on the call. I can say it a couple more times. How many years in a row Damon Simeon has called the SFL championship game? Are you, as the owner,
like 4 or 5 in a row?
Are you, as the owner of a league, going to see that this is the common denominator with a lot of problems in your league? Do something about him?
I'm going to throw one better because we talked about it. We talked about it yesterday on all their little hype videos. What's the first thing you hear all the time? DR Sim scores a touchdown.
It's in every one.
Every one.
This is true. In every highlight film you watch. That's true. You brought that up. Damon Simeon's player, DR Sim, is in the films catching a touchdown pass in every single freaking one. That alone shows bias to me.
I'm going here too, and I apologize to the man I'm about to talk about, because I'm sure because he's really he can deal with it and talk about it later if he ever wants to. But I know he's got things he's dealing with because of his family and everything. But we know for a fact that when they made their little documentary, that they went to Kyle's house.
Yes.
And they got at least 20, 25 minutes of stuff with Kyle, and he wasn't even put in the documentary.
Right.
All you see is mostly Cam. Is that ego there or what?
The documentary wasn't about the league. It was about an individual game, which, mind you, was an amazing fucking game. That was that game that got me hyped about the league. That's why I wanted to join, was over that game. That's not to knock that. I'd have been pushing that game too. You know, if you want to sell your league, go watch Santa Fe Gorillas and the DC Dragons in the championship game. You're going to want to join the league, period. There's no question about this. So hype that game, but use that as the stepping stone to explain where the league started, where it came from, what it was about, how you got to where it is. Instead, we mentioned that game, that highlight film, or whatever, and the owner of the league. That's all it was. It's not a documentary. To me, it's not. It's just a hype video for a particular game and a particular individual. Now, everybody can draw their own conclusions from that, but I still want to finish what I was saying, though, about Alex, me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get.
There's a few other
like I
names.
said, I'm going to apologize to Alex again because, you know, I know when that went down with him and Cam and his mom, and I think I was talking to Cam, and even I made a comment about why he had to get his mommy involved. I apologize for that because at that point in time, I was pissed at Alex because him and I were going through shit because we were in San Francisco, and he was stepping on my toes, and he was stepping on other guys, and I was pissed off, so I apologize for that now.
San Francisco was losing, and he tried to get involved more and trying to take over. So you wouldn't lose.
Right.
That was, and that wasn't what he was trying to do.
And it wasn't he was trying to take. He wanted to be. I'll put it this way because, like I said, I have a son who has the same thing. I go to his school all the time. I see all this, kids that have everything from cerebral palsy to you name it, they have it. It's all the special needs stuff. They have it. These kids just want to be treated normally, and that's all he was trying to do. And it took me a while to understand that because even though I had it was just for some reason it didn't click in my brain. So I have a son that has this, and he's doing the exact same. He wanted to be involved and be treated and
to your benefit, let's be honest. The team was losing. You were I don't know what to fucking do. You were kind of thrown in there. You accepted that role, and you were frustrated. I don't even think you thought about his personal issues. You just thought about
I didn't. I didn't. I was thinking, damn it, I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying, and this guy's just trying to just piss me off.
Right.
And that's what and I apologize for that. And I've told him that in the past over Skype and stuff. I apologize before, but I'm going to apologize now too. And
and that leads me to another person in the league who has issues, and that's Mr. Colin Northrup, who never joined our league. He did as a player, but never shows up very seldomly. And that's because he's dedicated to the other league. Now, I'm going to put this out here plain as day, and there is owners that are on here right now listening. And by God damn it, I'm putting you on the spot. You can verify right now in this damn chat window. Tell me I'm lying because I know damn well you can't. When Colin put his name in for a team, I forget what it was, but people didn't like the name. They didn't like the colors. They didn't like the setup. That was the excuse. That was the excuse that he put out there as to why he didn't want that team to get picked. The reality of it is he never wanted Colin Northrup to be an owner. He did not want Colin Northrup to ever originally call games when Colin offered. When Colin first offered to call games, he was denied. That's a fact. Everybody knows that because we watched it take place. So,
okay,
I will throw
this out. I'll throw that before you continue. It's kind of sad considering that's what he does.
Yeah.
For his local high school and other stuff in that area.
I'm going to touch on this in a minute. And I'm going to touch on all that.
He does it.
I'm touching on all that in a minute because, like I said, I've bit my tongue a lot much too, and I've gone off sometimes, but I've never gone full blown. And I really don't want to go full blown because I want to have be better. And like I said, this motherfucker sets us up to act like this and to talk like this to where we look like we're raging lunatics, and he just sits back, oh my God, look what they're doing to me. I'm a victim.
And that's okay.
Eventually people will grow their nuts and realize victim's a bitch and vacate him. You don't have to come here. Quit both fucking leagues. But grow a fucking set and realize what's going on over there is all I have to say. But to get back to Colin. When Colin's name was up, there's where I'm going to put these other people on the spot. It was me who went to each and every damn last one of you and said, this kid deserves a team more than anyone else on the list because of his freaking seniority, if you will. He's been here for this long, and that long, and he's been here, and he's done this. He worked with Barkley before Barkley's team was Queen City. I don't remember the name of the team. Don't really make a difference. He was with San Francisco, and he became an edge right-hand man when they let Daly go. So he was kind of helping run things. Yep. He then came over and helped me when I was doing things. He's been helping somebody every season he's basically been here. He's got a lot of interest in it. The kid loves football. He's a big Michigan football fan. So, oh well.
We'll let him slide for that.
He loves his Detroit Lions. He's not stupid. He knows what's going on. Give this kid a shot. You don't want to put him number one on your list? Fine. That's fine. But make sure he's on your list. And I fought for him every single freaking day to where eventually the other owners in the league realized what I was saying. I don't know who didn't do what with their lists, but the fact is Colin Northrup ended up with the most votes. He was the most vote getter because there was only two guys I was really voting for, and that was Chisholm and Colin. And then when I had to throw my third in there, I went with Mighty because Mighty, like Colin, had him involved with a lot of teams, same as Chisholm. So I was asked not to do that. Don't do that. Stop fighting for him. I don't want him to have a team. I was told, swear on my daughter's lives, this motherfucker told me, do not get these people to support Colin. I don't want Colin to have a team. Now, this can flip right back and blow up in my face because the next person could say, well, I thought the league was rigged. If the league was rigged, Colin wouldn't have got a team. Fact is, ladies and gentlemen, when you got 16 owners talk, 16 owners, not all of them are involved in the rigging. We know who and who didn't vote for what. He had no choice but to give him the team. So that's how I can counter that statement because I know somebody was going to think of that. So Colin got his team. And I did get a message. I hope you're happy. I hope I don't regret letting him have this team. I hope I don't regret letting him have this team. You didn't let him have it, did you? People voted it in. So what are you saying? You were thinking about not letting him have it even though he was voted in? Huh. It's not like you haven't gone against the vote of your owners before. After all, the owners were supposed to vote for my situation, and they shot him down. Only 2 people voted for Cam against me, and I still lost. It proves to show that if that's what he wants, that's what he does. Just putting that out there. I don't know if Ed's back or not. I heard him in the background yelling.
I'm here.
But so like I said, that's the story with that. And then when Colin was on the verge of joining this league, that's when all of a sudden, do you want to be a commentator over here? Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of funny that all of a sudden he didn't want to be here anymore because I wonder, because I think it was funny because I believe we let Alex do his thing first here, and then like I said, next thing I know, Colin's now doing stuff over there.
And either way, whichever one was first, I don't care. But my thing is real simple. You knew he came here. You knew I fought for him. And now all of a sudden you gave him what he really, really wanted. The thing Colin wanted to do the most with that league was to call games. If he came to him and said, hey, you got to forfeit your team to call a game, he'd have gave up the team, in my opinion, because he wanted to call games. That's what he likes. So that's what he played against him. And I don't know it to be true, but I know I suspect it. And I honestly think he was given the choice. I will let you call games if you're not in that league. Now, he's here, but he's not here. Mm-hmm. He's so seldom involved, it's not even funny. He pops in.
He pops in every here and there, says hi, guys, and then you never see him.
Right.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, where prior to him calling games, I seen him almost every day, every other day. Mm-hmm. He said, who knows what's what with him? And I don't want to make claims. I just know what I feel.
Right.
But like I said, the whole reason, though, Ed's fired up, pissed off, and I'm really worked up over this is because I just didn't appreciate someone saying, once again, we raised the bar. And if you're not sure what we're talking about because you didn't see it or hear it, check out the future videos that are supposed to go live soon and read the descriptions. You'll see it. Things that we do are now done there. I don't care about that. It doesn't bother me. But don't sit there and act like you created it and you're raising the bar with it.
That I said when I called you and I said, and I was fired up. I called him. I said, you got to see this shit. I don't care, and I even told him, I don't care they're doing it. I said, but bragging about how they're raising the bar and they're doing all this better. You're not doing it. Only thing you're doing is you're taking our idea and using it and making it a little bit better. That in your opinion, but at least gave somebody credit and said, hey, they had a good idea, so we're going to try it. But no, you don't have the balls to be a man to stand up and say, hey, this, because everything's got to be about you. Because even on your damn little resume and shit and your little thing for your little arena thing that you did, your little thing about you, it's all about you, about how you set up the SFL and how you did this and how you did that, all about the you. I can't say it enough. His ego is so out of control. And I don't have patience for people like that. I just don't. I don't. Like I said, I apologize to everyone in the IFL because of where this has gone. I apologize to some of the guys over in the SFL that will hear this. Say, oh man, Ed's going off again. I apologize, but you understand. I know a lot of you that are still understand where I'm coming from, and I apologize for that. I am not apologizing to that piece of shit. I am not apologizing to the guys that are his right-hand man that just let him do whatever he wants. I will never, ever, ever, and I'll repeat myself, ever apologize for anything I say or do, because it is warranted and it deserves to be said.
Also,
I'm a 44-year-old man and I got big shoulders and I can take on the fucking world if I have to.
Also, let's not forget that this man took legally copyrighted material, legally copyrighted images, legally copyrighted all kinds of goodies, proceeded to front that they were his own, place them on merchandise through Cafe Press, and make a profit. That was an illegal action. Illegal. When Cafe Press learned of where the images came from, they pulled them. The only thing he could sell was the images he helped create, which was his personal logos.
Right.
Everything was pulled because he broke the law to make a few dollars. Here's my thing when it comes to making a few dollars. I will never, ever try to make money off this unless it's brought to me from some mega corporate sponsored type deal. Say, hey, let's make money off this. Here's what we're going to do.
And it's a crap load. Yep.
And it's going to pay my bills and help me buy a house and shit like that. I'm not charging a guy $5 to watch an animated figure run around the screen when he could sit at home and create himself on his own PlayStation or Xbox. I'm not going to tell a guy, give me $25 to own a team.
$25 to be an owner. Yeah. No.
Just because now you get to pick and choose what players are on this particular team and pick their colors and logos. That's not worth $25. Now, I understand hobbies cost money. I get it. I don't ever fault somebody trying to make money on something. That's cool. I get it. But the fact is, it wasn't because you did it because, hey, you know what? Hobbies should cost money. You did it out of greed. You did it out of desperation for yourself. And now if anybody hasn't paid attention, remember, this motherfucker had problems and issues where he expressed them. One podcast, next thing you know, he's charging money for his league. Everybody's putting all this money into the league. Then, when all the money stopped coming in because the league was already going, all of a sudden he had more issues, proceeded to go online and cry for all to hear, to then where somebody was nice enough to say, hey, let's put some money on his account for his birthday so him and his woman can have a nice time out. He suckers you motherfuckers into your money over and over again. And I
Yeah,
want
I mean, I
someone
could
to
do that.
message me.
I
Tell me
could
I'm
have done
wrong.
that. I could do that, as parts, as one of the, I consider myself one of the owners of this league. Davis, Kyle, we're all basically owners of this league. I could have went on there and cried and said, "Oh, I can't do this," and ask, and get somebody to say, "Hey, let's." The last time my wife and I've been on a date, just me and her, 4 years ago. You know how many? When.
Say what? Where'd you go? Ed completely faded out.
My wife and I
There he is.
never been married 22 years.
I don't know. Ed's fading in
I'm
and
not
out.
going to. It's not
Ed, you're fading in and out.
me. Wow. It just. The guy. It's like we've been pulling anymore. On. Hear me? Yes,
Yeah,
no.
I hear it now. But I was hearing you. You were talking, you disappear, then you talk, and then you disappear. I think you're disappearing again. Leave the hangout, Ed, and come back in. See if that'll work. Because you disappeared on me again. But like I said, this guy wants your money. That's all there was to that. TJ came to me and said, "Hey, I got a trophy. I'd like to give to the winner. When they win, let me know their address. I'll send it to them." I didn't even want to accept the trophy. TJ can confirm this. I was like, "No, we don't need to do that. No, yeah, it'd be fun. Are you sure?" And he was like, "Yeah." Okay. So I agreed to it. And I was honestly upset by it at first because I didn't want to take from somebody. So it is what it is when it comes to that one. Don't know where Ed went. He's got a connection issue at the moment. Trying to find what we were talking about so I can read it to you. I'm gonna have to search it so I can just read it word for word so you guys know where it all stemmed from, where it all came from. Player progression. No one star is built the same. The SFL is raising the bar once again, starting this offseason. Players will be able to build their players and all their attributes. That's what we do. That's how we do it. And then it says, and will be able to progress their player's career each and every week. Now, that's a little different. That's definitely a little different. But the thing is, in real life, if you make it realistic and you take what you do in real life and put it on a video game, you don't want to progress a player's career up and or down based on one individual game. On a yearly season, it makes sense. But an individual game, no. Because the best players in the world, like everybody loves Barry Sanders. Some people still call him the best running back ever. So, week 1, Barry Sanders goes for 300 yards. So now in week 2, he gets to be even better. That's insane. But it could happen in real life. So, okay, cool. Then in week 2, he has a bad game. Now we're going to demote him down even worse because he had a bad game. I don't get that. Maybe I'm just guessing here and pulling at something, and then who knows? And whatever they're going to do, maybe it'd be freaking awesome, and that'd be cool. But the yearly thing makes sense. That's how we have aging and stuff like that. I think I heard Ed. I see Ed. Ed.
Hey.
What was the issue?
I have no idea. Something happened with the damn microphone again, and it kicked me completely out. And
yep.
So I had to get back in.
Well, while you were there, I let everybody know. I read the description. It says how they're raising the bar again, where players get to pick their own abilities. Well,
yeah, we were already doing that.
Right. And I look at it this way, and that's how we wanted to do this, and how we wanted to set this up. And I'll go into how we came about doing the own abilities thing. We realize in real life, when you come out of college, you have a set of skills. Some of your skills might not be in the forefront because the program you're in is not showing them. So when you join a team, that team might be able to plug into the fact that you've got this skill, this skill, this skill. Cool. But when you go to a new team, that new team might be able to plug into that skill the other team never showed. That skill equals ability. So you get to pick 6 abilities that carry along with your player from season to season to season till he's retired. And then each year, when you get on a new team, or each year that you're on a new team, not each new year, but each time you get to a new team, that new team can decide of those 6 abilities, which abilities are going to be used on your player for that season. Now, if you've got a player who's got, say, soft hands as a wide receiver, and the other team never used it, and you watch games, well, you might drop a ball or two. You might have that kind of ability where you just don't catch it. And everybody's like, man, why does he drop all the balls? Then all of a sudden, you go to this new team, and that's one of the abilities they plug in because they dropped a different one, or maybe they added one that the other team wasn't using. Now all of a sudden, it's like, damn, he can't drop nothing. What a difference the coaching staff's makes per thinking about it realistic form. Something we did. Over there, it was, this guy's in the draft. Here's his name. And after you pick him, figure out what position he's going to play. What? What kind of realistic shit is that? Oh, and then after you pick him, then the owner can pick and choose how big he is and what abilities he's going to use. And hopefully the player gets involved in that idea. That's just ludicrous. You need to know the player's name, his height, his weight, his position, and what he's good at. Just like you would in real life, because when you sit down and look at a guy on the draft board, in real life, you know what they're made of.
I'll say this. It wasn't quite that bad. I mean, because when we first got in it, we got to pick what position we wanted.
That was it.
And we just got to pick. I thought we got to pick our height. Maybe not.
We had a hand in it, but it wasn't part of the application. You picked your name.
But yeah, as far as like picking your abilities and shit, well, I was told, oh no, the coach will take care of that. The owner will take care of that. Okay. So basically, all you do is pick your name.
Right.
And they were still doing that till, like I said, till now. Oh, because it says in there, now players get to pick their own abilities.
That's how they're raising the bar. Read the description. That's how they're raising the bar.
I read it. That's why I said that's what got me fired up.
You're raising the
like I said, I'm not going to apologize for nothing. I don't have to apologize for nothing. You know, because most people know the history that happened with me in the SFL. You know, what happened, why I quit, now everything, you know, shit that was done to me, shit that was done to other people. And so, you know, it is what it is. And I apologize that that we took it on here and we did this. But I will say this. I was informed that someone he left told you to unleash the beast because even he was upset, and that was Mr. Davis, because he saw the same thing we saw, and he was like, you got to be kidding me. You're going to basically do the same thing we're already doing and try to pass it off like you're doing it first. That's not how this works. You know, if because I'm not going to lie. I'll say this right now. If it wasn't, it's, you know, people's going to go, oh my God. If it wasn't for the SFL, we wouldn't have the IFL. Simple as that. But the thing is, we do things different than how they do stuff. But they have now figured out that stuff we're doing is working a little better than what they're. So now they're going to try it and then try to pass it off like they come up with it. They're the geniuses.
Well, here's what I want to say. It's not even really saying anything. It's a question. It's a question. All the guys that are here and all the guys that are there. It's only a small list. It's a very small list. And let's be honest, if you go team by team, we're going by the East Division. Max Paul, which is mighty, he's in both leagues. The owner is not. Boston, neither guy are in that league. Both guys got banned. Well, you got banned, left. Bo Davis got banned for joining us. Taco got banned because
and to go into that whole thing, because that kind of, I had already told Barkley that I was probably going to stick around for the rest of that season and be gone because of everything that happened with you. And and Barkley said, I understand. He said, I'm surprised you haven't left yet. So because I didn't post it exactly like that on the team channel, and that, you know, he could see, I said, well, this is probably it for me, and I'm probably going to be gone. But I didn't say when or where. Within an hour, I was booted. I was gone.
Right. And you put that on the team channel, like you said, rather than on a public channel, because you kept that between you and Barkley, which meant you were avoiding drama. So, back to what I was saying, though. Mighty's won. When you go to Philadelphia, Cody left the league, and Chris Davis is gone. DW6 Killer, who is the South teams now. DW6 Killer owns the Rhinos. Charlie Monk owns the Wranglers. Jax Diamond owns the Stallions. All got banned when they joined here. Maurice is the lone exception. We all know Cam's got this love affair with Maurice, and who doesn't? He's like the fucking most amazingest dude. He was the only one who never got the ban. It's not an owner or a coach, but he was a scout. So to me, he does be part of the staff. So he didn't get the ban.
That's because Mo's like everybody's favorite little brother.
Right. How do you not love the guy? So now we got Maurice and we got Mighty. And this is to you two and whoever else I find. Going to the north. The Capones are gone. Alex is gone. Goodhart's gone. And I don't think Soper was ever over there. Again, Alex, the triplets, and Goodhart all got banned. Go to the west. Diggs got banned. My son got banned. Mark Chisholm and Ramos Lynn. Both owners here, both owners there. So my question, this is my statement to Ramos Lynn, Mark Chisholm, Mighty RX, and Maurice Spurgeon. I don't care if you want to put this in the open. I don't care if you want to send this to me in private. I am calling you for, not necessarily out, but I'm calling to you for right now for an answer. And I want you to be honest with me. I want you to be real with me, even if it's brutal to the point where I'm like, oh, fuck you. I want the facts from your mouth and as much truth as possible, whether it's good for me or bad for me. So here's the question. You can message me on Slack because that'd be the easiest way to do it. Or like I said, you can put it in the open. I don't care. When you compare what we do here and what they do there, in my opinion, now this is where you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, our website's better. Now, before he made changes, I don't know what the fuck kind of changes he made. The website prior to what they got now was awesome. This one sucks. What they had then was better than what we have, in my opinion. But what we got now, to compare to what they got now, we got the better looking site. That's just an honest opinion. I'm not trying to be biased. Like I said, I'm being my honest opinion. When you look at what we do graphic-wise compared to what they do graphic-wise, I can't hold a candle. That's fact. They're better. They're better. I've been saying that since Jump Street. I'm not a graphic guy. If it weren't for TJ helping me with the main logo and the conference logos, and if it weren't for Kyle Walsh helping me get the freaking background out of the way for our team logos, you would have what you see on our team page right now, where you'd see the logo with the black background and the silhouette again of the logo back there, which doesn't bother me none, but it's a little tackier. Uh, I don't have that capability. I don't have that luxury. So they beat me there. Website, IFL, graphics and images, SFL. Now, to the meat and the potatoes of the whole thing. What is the purpose of gameplay and the game itself? Now, I try with my C grade equipment. Here's the problem. I have a wife. I have kids. My money goes to them first. Now, that means bills, food, clothes, whatever it may be. Anybody who has common sense know what that means.
Right.
He doesn't. He's got himself and a girlfriend. Now, for me, if I got a girlfriend, my money's going to her first, not just because,
I don't think so.
Just because of whatever. But I'm going to spend my money on my
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've never, never spent a whole lot of money on a, no.
Right.
No.
And that's where we all come from different molds. I mean, that's something I would do. So he has the ability to be able to do a little bit more than I do. And by all means, if that's what you choose to do with your money, it's your money. Go do it. That's cool.
I'll be right back.
All right. That's cool. You do it. Okay. So he's got this equipment, which trumps me. God, I just used the word Trump. Beats. No, I don't want to use beats me either. It makes his league look better. Apologize. Anyway, if I had the better equipment, I'd be calling games. For God's sakes, the only microphone I own is a webcam.
All right. I'm back.
So I can call the games, but for some reason it leaves it staticky, maybe some echo, this, that, and the other. And I did test it several times since that championship game, and I still can't seem to figure it out. I've cleaned it up a little bit, but nowhere near where it needs to be, nowhere near where it's supposed to be professional-like. So I can't beat them there. But I ask you, the owners that I'm talking to, does my website, his website, determine how your team plays and the effort and time you put into your team? My guess is no. Does his graphics or my graphics do that? My guess is no. Does him calling or not calling a game, the same go for me, affect your game? No. My guess. Now, in both leagues, you have to submit players, player builds, heights, weights, playbooks, audibles, the whole 9 yards. You do that in both leagues. That's where they're completely the same. The tiers and where you're putting the players and how the team build as a whole is, it's a little different, but the whole concept is perfectly the same. There's one difference. Gameplay. They have sliders. We have sliders. They have settings. We have settings. Those things, without a shadow of a doubt, will change the way a game is played. That's why they exist. So I'm asking the four of you. You tell me what we do or what they do. Which one's better? If you were to sit down and be able to put both leagues on a pedestal and say they're going to have the same style of graphics, they're going to have the same ability to play gameplay, they're going to have the same, I'm sorry, not gameplay, calling the game. They're going to have the same everything. The only thing that's different is the way the game is played itself. You tell me which league's better. Because if you can tell me it's not the IFL, that's cool. But I'm going to want you to tell me why you think so. Because I want to know why. Because I've taken what we do here and shown it to a lot of people to what they do there. And they're just like, this is like day and night. It's like ice cream to horse manure. It's insane. You know, in both leagues, and I've called this into the other week, both leagues you can have a running back go for 200-300 yards. The difference, over there you can do it in half the amount of carries, which means there's something wrong. I didn't remember a guy last year getting 200-300 yards in our league until he had 20-30 carries. I've seen guys over there hit 300 yards in less than 20 fucking carries. That's insane. In our league, you cannot cheese at all with anything. Not just one individual type of play or one particular style. You cannot cheese in the IFL at all. We did our due diligence to try to avoid that. Now, that's not to say somebody might not find something, because that could exist. But trust me, once it's found, we will address it. Chances are it's going to have to ride for the season, but it will get changed because we don't want people being able to cheese because it's an unfair thing. You can cheese over there, have ever since I've been there, ever since I've left, and you know what I'm talking about. So to get to the question again, if you could put everything on the same playing field, as far as graphics, website, the ability to call a game. The only thing difference is the way the game is played on the field. What is the meat and the potatoes of these leagues? You tell me who's better. You tell me who's better, because that, my friends, determines the best league. That determines who is the better league. That, my friends, determines who you should be with and who you shouldn't be with if you ever had to make a choice. From me, you don't have to make a choice. If you like it over there, I don't know how, because of what I know goes on over there, and I'm not afraid to say it. They cheat. It's biased. It's rigged. It's fake. But if you like it, stay. Be here too. You're welcomed in both. Cameron Irvine himself, my door is open. You ever want to make a player? Make a player. Join my league. I hope you're the MVP. But that's just how I feel about it. So I'm putting those 4 guys on the spot because they're the ones who should know the most. And I know Heath McDaniel was in here. He says right here in the chat, IFL is better, period, and I'm new here. The running backs are super cheese in the SFL. Right. And, that's something they should fix. That's something they should fix. And I've said this 1,000 times on this podcast. They have an amazing product if they would just fix the issues and take away the biased / rigging. They got an amazing product, or I would have never joined it. But you will never once hear him say anything positive about our product. That alone shows the character of the man. Tell me I'm wrong on that one.
Well, that's the truth.
Well,
and like I said, I'm not apologizing. And I'm sure, we're going to get talked about tonight during their little podcast that they're having tonight. So if anybody else wants to check theirs out, they're going to be talking about how their new season's coming up, and what they're going to do with their player abilities now, and how they're going to do. So you guys feel free to check that out. All I ask is this: if you're in the IFL, don't start anything. Just leave that to me. I got that handled.
Stay out of their chat room. That's all you ask. You want to tune in and listen? Go for it. Don't talk in their chat room. Let them have their time, their moment. Don't be an ass. Oh.
But yeah, feel free to go listen to it and and you can see what they're doing different that we're not. Because like I said, if they want to go weekly and develop their players week, more power to them.
And I do want to touch on this.
Like we've said.
Never had the opportunity to touch
for the most part. Well, before you get going, let me say this. For the most part, Doug does everything himself. Because honestly, my little computer here I have is on its last leg, and who knows, once it dies, who knows when I'll ever be able to get another one. As far as working out the team, defense and stuff for Boston, I'm on a PlayStation 3, so I'm completely behind the 8 ball compared to other guys.
Right.
I know Bo Davis has a PlayStation 3, so he's behind the 8 ball he's working on some offense and some defense stuff too. So we're behind the 8 ball. So we don't even have the Xbox like some guys. Would I love to be able to help more? Damn right I would. But at this point in time, I just can't do it. I don't have the equipment to do it. I don't have the stuff to do. I just don't have it. Unlike over there where he has 500 people that step up and want to do stuff. Because they all – because what it all comes down to. They all think the same thing because it's how it works over there. Well, if I kiss his ass and I do this, I'll get what I want. So that's what happens.
Well,
I'm not going to sugarcoat shit no more. I'm done.
Well, I ask you, instead of making said claim, do you have evidence to support said claim? Oh, wait, never mind. All the guys that seem to help him make the playoffs every year. All right, continue.
I just say, he makes it sound like he's all this, all that. When we all know it, he's got this huge team that helps him. Mm-hmm. But yet you're basically by yourself, and Davis helps run games, and that's it. And then we're still kicking their ass, in my opinion, as far as gameplay goes.
I fully believe that.
They cannot touch this league.
Right.
Because I've done the same thing you've done. I've reached out to buddies of mine that are Madden players or NCAA players or whatever, or just football guys in general. And I've asked them, I said, please check this out and please check this out. And they've said the same thing, that IFL is above everything.
And before people question, before anybody questions whether or not we truly honestly did that, the reason why we did it mostly more than anything was in case the answer wasn't what we wanted to hear, so we could fix it.
Exactly. I'm not going to lie. I'm in destroy mode now because now I'm angry. Because like I said, I have shit going on with my son and his medicine, and then I get on and I see this bullshit where they're trying to pull it off like they've come up with everything great and they're the geniuses and we don't know shit. Well, you know what? Now they've pissed off the wrong guy.
No. Let me get to what I didn't touch on.
I'm going to say one thing before, because I'll tell you right now. I told that fucker long ago. Personally, I told him, I am not the guy you want to piss off. And he says, oh, are you threatening me? I said, no, that's not a threat. That's a fucking promise.
But no.
Because I don't have time to deal with childish bullshit and baby crap and, oh, I'm better than you. No, I don't have time.
He's not a baby no more. He's got facial hair. Anyway.
I'm sorry. Because the thing is this. I wouldn't act the way I'm doing, the way I act, if he wouldn't do what he does. You know, he portrays himself as God's gift to every fucking thing that's all pro. You know, and God's gift to graphics and all this other shit. Well, I got news for you. Most of that shit he doesn't do. I know for a fact other people has done his graphics for him, but he likes to take credit for shit. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I want to see him deny that shit.
Right. I'm willing to admit I suck. Thank you, DJ, for my.
There are things that he brings to the table. Yes. You know, because he has gone to school for that shit. That's what he went to college for, was to learn how to do that. So he's got advantage over people. Mm-hmm. But yet to treat people the way he does,
right?
I'm telling you right now, I've told you before, and I told my wife and kids, if I was not married and I lived in Texas, I'd be in jail right now.
Ain't that serious, is it?
I would be in jail right now.
I might have went and egged his house or something, but
oh no, because I'm at the point where I don't give a fuck. I really am. I'm at that point where I don't give a shit anymore.
Well, take a minute to breathe and let me touch on this. Everybody remembers Support Cam, the little fucker who would come into our games talking shit. We remember this guy, right?
Yeah, and we were told by the man himself, if you have any more issues, please come and tell me. Mm-hmm. And I will help you deal with it. Right. Well, before you get going, I'm going to throw this out here too, and then you can go where you want to go. Mm-hmm. I did that. Mm-hmm. I reached out to them, I think during a game, during a podcast, something, said, hey, that guy was over here again, starting trouble. I was letting you know. And his right-hand man, second-hand man, third hand jumped on me and says, how is that Cam's problem? Why does Cam have to deal with that? Because he told us to come and tell him.
Right.
But I can tell you right now, he never told them that.
Right.
He'll say,
step up in the chat room and say, hey, guys, relax. I said to do that. No, he let it go because he liked what was going on.
He just – yep.
But I'm going to touch on Support Cam because this is something I didn't think about mentioning for some reason. I guess because I didn't give a shit. Based on the circumstances, now I give a shit. Alan Drum tried to proclaim it was him.
Right.
Because he was pissed. I know for a fact it wasn't Alan Drum. Okay. And Alan just did that to try and piss me off because he was trying to get under my skin, and I knew better. So I didn't fall for his dumb shit. That being stated, when I came on this podcast flat out and I made the statement of so-and-so told me that Support Cam is so-and-so, and I believe it, and went so far as to not necessarily say it, but hint at it, and that is by the orders of Cameron Irvine himself, the man disappeared. He never showed up again. I don't know if you took notice to that.
I did notice that.
And I just found it very weird that when somebody...
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Is it who you told me that so-and-so said it was? Is that who it really was?
I don't know who it really was to this day.
Okay.
But I know when I got flat out told that they believe for 100% shadow of a doubt support came as Andy Hamilton by the order of Cameron Irvine to do it to start shit so we can't have peace in our game, the man stopped doing it. Now, we can take that all kinds of different ways, but I do find it very weird, very odd, very interesting that when a name finally got thrown out to who it could or couldn't have been, it stopped. Mm-hmm. And how it started, it got stopped. I just found that interesting. And I don't want to throw him under the bus. And I've kind of done it before with this situation. And I apologize to him now if he gets pissed off at me. But that was TJ who told me that fucking statement. I believe it's Andy Hamilton. He didn't make the statement. Said that. Yeah, he didn't make the statement by the orders of Cameron Irvine to me. It came across that way. Now, to his credit, I don't want to put words in his mouth. He might not even have been implying that, but that is how I took it. You know, and there's a lot of times people say shit. That's not we think of it a different way.
Yeah, I know you did say, though, that TJ told you without a shadow of a doubt he believed it was Andy Hamilton.
Right. And the fact is, TJ's gone from over there now. Why TJ left, that's his business. You know, is TJ leaving here after this season? I don't know.
Could be.
But the point is, he's here. He's still here. The man's still bending over backwards to try and help me out every which way he can. Always coming to me with something, always trying to help out with something. He's in the middle of a move. Unfortunately, he now has to live closer to me. So, who wants to live closer to me? But anyway.
I do.
He's been so busy.
I don't think our wives could handle that.
Think about it. He's been so busy going from one state to another state, making a move. And I know he's got a busy personal life. He has still somehow figured out the time to find the time to make me conference logos that, in fact, the conference logos that I'm using weren't the first sample or the second, third, or fourth. They've been altered and edited, rethought, rethunk, all kinds of stuff to where we came up to where we're at now. How on earth he found the time to do that, I don't know. And I only ask this. If he wasn't dedicated to the IFL, why would he have taken the time to do it?
That's right.
And to me, this is a guy, as far as I'm concerned, was a cornerstone to that league. Quit. Is here. That alone carries a lot of weight when it comes to this whole bunch of shit.
Well, I'm going to ask you this. Is there any news on the other person that we heard was going to leave over there? Have you heard anything about that? Because, you know, we don't have to say any names because, you know, it could be anybody that we're talking about. But
of the two names that I got confirmation.
I just knew I've only was privileged of the one because we were talking that day.
I can 100% confirm without a shadow of a doubt. I can 100% confirm without a shadow of a doubt. I'm going to repeat that there so guys understand what I'm saying. There is, let me count them. 1, 2, 3. At least 3 owners. I think I'm counting this right. Let me double check. I'm just going to double check it and make sure because I forget who all the owners are unless I'm looking at it. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. 4 owners. I swore I was missing someone, and I was. 4 owners over there, 100% confirmed to me, are currently on the fence if they're staying or going. All 4 could stay. All 4 could go. 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3. Who knows?
Right.
My gut tells me none are leaving, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But without a shadow of a doubt, 4 teams, owners thought about it. If you're thinking about it, that's not good either.
Nope.
It's not good. I've had 2 people come to me and say, things over there are fishy this season. This was this, this was that. How did one team lose all these games and then all of a sudden, a snap of a finger, become damn near impossible to beat? and he's still in the and he finally lost in the conference title game, and that was Andy Hamilton's team.
Vancouver.
And anybody who's a coach knows you can't just turn that shit around overnight. It might take a couple weeks to do it. Now, to his credit, maybe he realized he sucked in week 1, and by week 4, 5, 6, whenever it was when he started getting better, he was working on it all those weeks to get to that point. I don't know. And I did make that statement when I was told this, because I don't want to discredit a guy who may have legitimately done it. But at the end of the day, when you fucking run Carolina for seasons and you can't do shit with the help of a guy who's smarter than you, and then you get on your own, you're not going to be as good as you were when you were with a guy going fucking 2-10 or whatever the hell your record was. But now all of a sudden you're good enough to make the championship play or the conference championship game by yourself. I don't think so. And when you take a look at the LA Sharks, outside of those games where I put into question the editor, and it was confirmed to me by Destro, and I've said this over and over again, and Destro has confirmed this himself. Yeah, when you have non-conference games, the teams get fucked. He flat out admitted.
Cross-con.
Yeah, cross-con. Teams get fucked. He admitted that this happens. My receivers sucked. That might not have been a blatant attack on my team. It might not have been a fixed is in. I'm not even going to say that. Fact is, something happened, and Destro knows this.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what drove me nuts about all that. Mm-hmm. They knew that and never told anybody.
Right, and Destro fought against it.
Yeah, I remember him, Destro, telling us he fought against because he knew it was going to screw stuff, and he told him eventually somebody's going to have a fit, and it happened. Right, I remember him saying that.
No,
but the thing is, they knew that by doing the cross-conference stuff and what it does in the editor, but yet never told anybody.
Which is why we don't do them. Real simple, just to touch on that real quick. When you do the cross-conference game, all you do is you take somebody's team, you change the star players, you rename the non-star players, and that's it. That's all they have time to do, which means you inherit the non-star roster of the other team. So if you have a guy who's 6'3" in the secondary playing second free safety, and he's able to get up and knock down some of these passes, but the other team you got put on top of only has like a 5'10", he ain't making those same plays. It just ain't going to happen because of the height difference. It makes a difference. So you're inheriting someone else's roster, their build sizes and everything. And it's bullshit. So that's one of the reasons. I mean, that's the biggest one that I can point out without getting into too much detail. That alone makes you sit there and go, huh, what? But now where the hell was I going with this?
I have no idea.
We're
going all over the place.
I forget what I was just talking about.
I don't remember because we started talking about cross conferences and how Vancouver went from one of the worst teams in the league to one of the best teams in the league,
and they took over the Sharks. When you go back and watch the SFL last season, the Sharks were clearly one of the teams to beat. And if someone says differently, then kiss my ass because I know my team was. When those cross conference games started, my guys couldn't catch for the life of me. Mm-hmm. And I called it out. Because it's fact. Watch the games. You can see it playing as anything nose on your face. Yeah, I went right back to that line.
Yeah, because you can see it. Because the first couple games, your team was they were catching everything. But then those last couple games, even I sent you a message. What the hell's going on?
Right. Now.
Because they wouldn't catch nothing. They couldn't do nothing. It was like it was a whole other team.
So that being said, when Andy took over my team, they sucked. They sucked. It was horrifying.
Okay, also, and then I'll say, I'm going to throw this out there because this pissed me off. Mm-hmm. Because after he took over the team and he had a little podcast, I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing the best I can to fix the problems. This is not my team. You didn't need to fix anything. There was nothing wrong with that team. The problem was you. You have no idea what you're doing, so you screwed it up.
Right. Now, not only that, it was just it was funny. You want to ban me, you ban me. But then you turn around and you change the name of my individual player. Who would have set the rushing record? Who would have I want to say would have set the rushing record, would have went in record books and said my son is there, and it has been said to me by people on the inside that he boosted my son deliberately so my son would be the one that had the records, just as a way of saying "fuck
I'll
you"?
believe it.
Also, I want to make this statement. There's players in the league like Jax Diamond, the guy who put Chicago in the championship game, is wide receiver Alex Zeli. Alex isn't even in the fucking league anymore. He quit. But they kept his player. He's over here. He's with us.
Yeah, Jax isn't even over there. He got drafted over there, didn't he?
Right. He got put on Carolina, I believe. Point is, they hung on to players they banned because they didn't have enough players. Now, granted, we don't think we have enough players for a quality draft because you can only get so many people to join this kind of stuff. So We've admitted, guys, we're making non-human players for the draft. We're making people available that aren't people who quit. Aren't people that you banned.
Right.
How do you ban Jax Diamond and ban Alex Zeli? Or, Alex may have quit before he got banned. I know Jax got banned. And then keep him in your league. Yeah, Heath McDaniels just said, yep, we signed Jax in Carolina. And if I may, Heath, I would love to make the statement that you just sent me on Slack on the air, if I may. As I find that interesting.
He says that's cool. Go for
it. He states, Shan Varner actually told me he was giving plays to Andy in a phone call, and Cam said he can't actually prove it, so there's nothing he could do.
Wow.
Couldn't.
Well, wait a minute. I'll say this. I'll say this because I think there for a while, Andy and Shan had a little rift between them.
They did.
Because every time they had a podcast, and I listened to them, just because I like to see what's going on and make sure they're not saying shit about us when we had stopped talking about them until the day when I had enough. And Andy would rip into Shan all the time. And then his favorite line was, "No disrespect. You're disrespecting him." Anytime you say no disrespect, you're disrespecting him. Playing this, that's just how that works. We all know it. It's no big deal. That's how it's done. But now all of a sudden, these two guys are buddy again because they're calling games together and they're doing this and that. What the hell?
Maybe they were able to bury the hatchet and grow up, and get over it, however you want to word it. That'd be great. But who knows? It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. So who knows? That's the way I look at it.
Like I said, it is what it is. It's just, like I said, and I apologize again because I know you didn't want me to go off, but and Chris, he was all for it because he wanted to unleash the beast because he knows what happens when the beast comes out. I don't get the whole. Anytime we say something, anytime we do something, we're the bad guys.
Right.
We're just starting trouble. We're doing this. But yet they do things behind our back, and we know it's true. People have come to us and said, these guys have said this and said that, where you can't see it. But yet that's okay. They can do whatever they want, and it's okay. I say one thing, Doug says one thing, or Chris or anybody else says one thing. We're the bad guys. We're starting trouble. I got news for you. That's not how the world works. Either man up, grow a set, or I don't know what to tell you to do because, I'm at the point where oh, man, I'm fucking heated right now.
Man, there's much we can do.
I get tired of, everybody, look at it. It's going crazy again. He's the bad guy. He's this and that. But yet nobody ever took into consideration what was said to me, what was done to me, this or that. Same thing for you. No one wanted to believe what was done to you, what was said to you, nothing. But yet everybody wanted to believe Cam was right. Cam did this, Cam did that. Mm-hmm. Which has me completely pissed off.
Right. And like I said, unlike him, I don't make claims. I provide the evidence. And that's what I've always done. And
but here's the thing. What does he always say? Well, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? You've proved it over and over and over, but yet can you please turn that down?
Right.
But yet he'll say, oh, they never proved nothing. They never proved nothing.
Right.
You know, and I can, like I said, and I thought it was hilarious that one, because we did take a little shot at him during the one podcast. It wasn't real, nothing major, but it was funny. I don't know if anybody I caught it, and I had to take my headset off that day because I was damn near pissing myself. But when we come on, we were talking, and you said, you know, when the castle's crumbling, you got to build yourself a moat. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've had people reach out to me. I am not naming names. I'm not telling it. I don't. Right. This is just what it is. Mm-hmm. Everybody's just saying the same thing. If this guy is supposed to be their co-owner and their, what the hell did they call it?
No.
I can't remember what but where he's supposed to be the guy that's, you know, talking about it and doing everything. Where is he? Mm-hmm. You know, you'll see him here and there on the chat. He'll come in and he'll talk and he'll do that. And I honestly don't think it's him, but that's just my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, there's nothing on Twitter from this guy. There's nothing on any other social media from this guy. You can't find this guy on social media anywhere because I've checked. Others have reached out to me and said they've checked. They can't find him. So if this guy's supposed to be your co-owner and he's supposed to be helping you try to get this league going, where is the guy?
Well, I've had
honestly, in my personal opinion is this. I'll throw it out there, and I don't care. I don't care if it's the right thing, if it's the wrong thing. I don't care if this is what happened or not. My personal opinion after talking to people is he paid for his name. Cam reached out to this guy, says, I want to use your name and this and that, and I'll give you a little bit of cash, whatever. And he said, well, why not? Here you go. Use my name.
Who gives a shit? Go ahead. Right.
That is my personal opinion about that. And that is an act of a desperate man. Just like the whole thing of we're raising the bar again. Act of a desperate man. Because the thing is this, and we all know it's true, and I'm going to have to get off here shortly because I have to run down to the bus stop and get my son. Didn't realize it was this late. Mm-hmm. If things keep going the way they go, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to pray that it does. Because it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I hope his league falls apart. And everybody that finally realizes it leaves and either comes here or just does away with being in that kind of stuff altogether and says, you know what, I'm done. I don't need part of this, part of that, and I'm okay with that too.
Right.
But what it's going to come down to is that league is going to be him and his little cronies, his little buddies, and that's all it's going to be. Mm-hmm. That's what it's coming to. And honestly, I can't wait.
Now, here's my thing. The whole Ryan Moat thing. Don't you think you would at least told him, hey, when you film a 30-second video, say, hey, this is Ryan Moat, former NFL player. Join the SFL today. Something simple. Something like that. Whatever. You know, there it is. You know, like I said, by all means, I hope that he's been able to pull this off. That'd be great. You know, great. You know, man, I have my doubts because of things that I've been told and things that I've heard or whatever.
I'm going to say this, cut you off, because Davis just posted. He said he got cut off several NFL teams. I don't know if he was in the CFL, but he was probably cut there. I can tell you right now, I looked him up to see what the last thing he was doing. He was in Texas playing in a semi-pro rugby league. That's what he was doing.
Right. And that's why I made the statement to you. There's a strong possibility Cam cross paths with him because he's doing that kind of stuff, and Cam covers that kind of shit. So there's a small chance that happened. But I've had this said to me, and I mentioned this to Davis already, and the statement was, how convenient that of all the people that possibly could have been involved, is a guy that's from Texas, where he lives, and played for the Eagles, which ends up being one of my right-hand man here's favorite team.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
I said, I just find that funny. Of all the guys it could have been, because everybody knows that's Davis's favorite team, and without Davis, I don't have the league. So I'm thankful for him every day. And this just happens to be a player from his team.
Well, I have to jump here. Sorry, guys, but I have got
How
to get to the bus
vertical?
stop. Not as high as it used to be, I can tell you that. As my children will tell you, I'm old and decrepit now.
Yeah, I know about the decrepit part. I wake up and gotta lean on the windowsill just to get off my ass.
But yeah, I have to get off here so I can head down the street and pick my son up at the bus stop.
Yeah, I gotta chase mine in about 30 minutes. But
yeah, this, like I said, I'll get off here. But thank you guys for letting me rant and rave a little bit, because it was all, with everything going on in my life and then all that crap. I had to get some steam off, and I had to do something. And thank you, I appreciate it, because now I feel better.
Right. And like I said, to the guys who are still here,
and just so you
and there, let me know what you want.
And then I'll say this, just so you guys know, my wife just texted me. She finally got a hold of the doctor, and he should have, hopefully, his medicine by tomorrow or the next day. Thank God.
Good. And to touch on my statement of let me know what you want, that's not how I wanted to word it. The guys who are still there and here, let me know what you think, to what I challenged you earlier to answer. As I want the guys on the street out of these people. Because, like I said, if they send me anything that's not what I want to hear, you better be looking for this league to get better.
That's right.
Like I said,
I'm out of here.
And graphics, and that's it.
So,
all right, Ed's taking off. Later. So I do want to apologize for this show turning into a rant and rave. But again, I do want to make this statement. When anybody wants to say, oh, they're the bad guy, the only time we make a mention to that place is when either A, we're brought up there, or now in this case, trying to proclaim they're raising the bar, doing things that's what we are clearly doing and have done to make our league superior. I won't sugarcoat it no more. We have the better league, and if you don't see it, then you're a moron. Now, of course, people say that's just an opinion, and you're right. But in my opinion, you're a moron. Because he has the better graphics. That's it. That's all the guy's got. And I know him calling the games, because he does an amazing job at it. It gives it this special element that we don't have. I'm trying to figure that out so we can do it. I'm apologizing now that I haven't been able to figure it out to get it better. That's why I posted on Slack the other day so you guys can see it in the off topic. This is the goal. I'd like to improve my equipment, my technology to do it. If I do it, it probably wouldn't happen until after this season. That's the sad part. I'm going to continue to use the next month and a half to work on this equipment, see if I can get it to record without any issues. I just don't know what to do with it just yet. I've been trying everything in my power. I've been using the microphone built into the little Surface Pro. I've been trying to use this microphone, and it seems like this microphone and the one in the Surface Pro kind of overlap each other, and that's what causes the static. And the one in the system, I don't even really think it takes my voice well enough to even use. So either way, I can't win, and it sucks. But I've been trying my best to figure out the answer, figure out the solution, so we can get to that part. Because I honestly think if I can get that much covered, most people would say, you know what? Now they got the website. Now they got the gameplay. And now they got the play-by-play. I don't give a shit about graphics. Because to me, like I said, I'll say it over and over again, that's the one thing he's got that beats us hands down. Nothing I can do about that. So, it is what it is. And we're trying over here to provide a fun league, an entertaining league, and I think that we've accomplished those goals and those tasks. And to me, it becomes even more clear when another league who claims to be better is using what we're using and doing what we're doing. Now, all it means it's going to make that league better. It's going to make that league more entertaining, and more power to them, as I said way earlier in this podcast. But it just irritates me when you make the claim you're raising the bar. The bar was raised on you, and you had to figure out a way to counter that bar by achieving something that you haven't achieved. And you chose to do what we do that made us different. That is one of the things that makes our league so much more different than yours, is players are real players. They're real heights, they're real weights, they're real skills, they're real positions, not just a name that you can put anywhere on your team. And to me, that adds such a realistic aspect to the league. It's not even funny. Now you want that. But here's the best part. Didn't say anything about ability, a position. So I'm not sure how they're going to go about that. But you would assume the position to some degree has to be mentioned. And I'm betting, without a shadow of a doubt, when it comes to, like, say, defense, it's just going to say secondary or front seven, because the ends can play linebacker and what have you. Corner, safety, pretty much all the same, rather than individual spots. And to me, that's insane. But whatever works. Whatever works. So I don't want to ramble too much. Yeah, thanks for the podcast. You're welcome. Want to thank everybody who has come in. That's what I like, that the players are more realistic. Yeah, exactly, David. Wish I could pronounce your last name right. I say it's Yanez. I could be saying that wrong. But Brian Hillibert, welcome in. But anyway, if you're still over there and you're here, like I said, message me. You let me know which products as a whole is better. I want you to be honest. Tell me the truth. What's better? Yeah. And as I said, we made statements again about how things are fake, biased, rigged. I pointed out more evidence here today. Somebody made the statement in the more chat room, the more you know. The more you open your eyes, you'll see it for yourself. I don't have to say nothing. Neither does anybody else. Your eyes will tell you for you by looking at it. So, but I'm going to wrap this up. Remember, the draft is this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be back at the draft on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And these teams will then be finalized. They will be complete. We'll know who's got what. I'll be popping out the game and the editor, getting it all set up to begin building rosters as we prepare for December the 1st, which will be week 1. The schedule is ready. I mentioned this earlier in the podcast. The schedule is ready. I know who's playing who in week 1. I know where the games are going to be played. I know where the games are going to be at. All that good stuff. That being said, we're going to do a podcast for that once the rosters are in full, so we can have a really good breakdown show. I want to get into detail like we used to do with Inside the IFLs. Even when I was over there and did Inside the SFLs, we went into detail. This team's playing this team. Here's the strengths and their weaknesses. This is what we think. This is this build, that build. Really break down the 8 games and have fun with it. And then that's when we'll get into the pick 'em and the game of the week, and we'll let you guys pick and choose what's what. As I said, with me and Davis doing the games each, I'll be covering one conference. He's going to be covering the other conference. So I'm going to be doing the the Atlantic. He's going to be doing the Pacific. There might be weeks where I might have to cover some of the other games on his side, depending on his schedule or whatever. If I can call games, Davis doesn't have that luxury. If I can figure it out to where I can call games, I want to try and call 2 games a week, and it'd be the game of the week from each conference. That is a desired goal. I want to call each conference's game of the week if I can get to where I need to be. So, like I said, if I get the equipment fixed, set up, organized, taken care of, whatever, that'd be awesome. But it'd be great to have that. So get ready for Pick'em to come up soon. Schedule to be up soon. Game of the week to be up soon. Once the draft is over, we're going to have a podcast that week. So, like I said, the draft is the 20th, Friday. Then again on the 22nd, which is Sunday. Somewhere on the 23rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere within that week. So somewhere in the so it's Friday the 20th, Sunday the 22nd. So from between the 23rd and the 27th, somewhere in there, we're going to have a podcast where we're going to get on the air and we're going to reveal the schedule. We're going to let people know who's playing who week 1 and what have you. I didn't take the time to pick and choose who was going to play who. It was a generated schedule because I didn't even want the schedule to be biased. I didn't want the schedule even to be fake. I just wanted to do it the right way, and say, here it is. So we have it. It's set up, and it's going to be a good schedule. I'm really interested into what we have and who's playing who and who's going to be at what team. So guys, get ready. We're almost there. It's a month and a half away to week 1. All we are now is finish out the week, get our draft picks done, and then for the record, free agency is going to take place too. So I did forget to tell you guys that on Sunday. I got to say this now, and I'll be covering this again during the draft on Friday, but I'll let you know now for those who paid attention to the show. On Sunday, when that draft ends, as soon as the 6th round is over, the last pick, the very last pick of the 6th round comes off the board. As of right now, the New York Cobras have a compensatory pick in the 6th round. They're the only team. They're going to pick last no matter what because you can't trade compensatories. So when they make that pick in the 6th round, free agency door opens. It starts right away. Do not send me a submission for a player before that pick, because if it does, that pick will that offer will be null and void and not count. I won't consider it. So wait until the last pick is made and you hear me make the statement, free agency, it is now open. You may then make your submissions because the free agency is only going to last anywhere between 24 to 72 hours. That's it. So you're going to have to act quick and get it done. And the main reason why I say 24 to 72 hours is it depends on my schedule that week. So I know how much time I need to start building rosters and to do the podcast for the show. So the later I wait for free agency, the later the podcast, the later we move forward. I don't want to rush anybody either. So I don't want to do it too soon or too late. So that's why 48 hours might end up being the time. So get your big boards ready if you're not going to be in the draft. That's also another thing. If you will not make the live draft, you need to send me your picks, and not just 1 or 2 guys. I need like 50 because it's 3 rounds, 16 picks a round. Do your math. 16 plus 16 is 32, plus another 16 for the 3rd round is 48. You need to send me at least 48 names on your list. And the simple fact is because if you're picking last in the 3rd round and you only put 40 names, all 48 names that you pick could already be gone by the time you pick at 48th. That's why I say you need at least 50 names in order or position, however you want to send it. You just need to achieve. So you can say in round 1, I want a quarterback. Here's my list. In round 2, I need a linebacker. Here's my list. Whatever it is you want to do, that's cool. But make sure there's enough names available in case, precisely. And send me backup plans as well, just in case. Because if for some reason we screw up and there's not enough players on the draft board at a certain position, I don't want to have to screw you over and make you pick a different position. So that's why I'm trying my best to put as many new non-human players on the draft board as possible. So again, if anybody wants to submit some, go for it. Name, height, position, abilities. Make sure there's 6. We'll get them added to the list. So, and Mark, I'm going to be adding a couple that you sent me yesterday as well. I got a couple of them up, I believe, so I'm going to get into the rest of them. So, anyway, I'm wrapping this one up. I got to get ready to go get my kids here in about 20 minutes. Appreciate everybody who's chimed in, been here, was a part of this. For Ed and everybody was here. Appreciate it. This was Inside the IFL, and I'm going to catch your ass down the road. Later.